Guys, it's Katie with Create Your Future, and I am here with Traci, who is a certified life coach and law of attraction coach here with Create Your Future. And today she has such a good topic for you. It's all about how to get past the biggest block in manifesting your SP. So she's going to give you 3 tips on how you can do that right now. So Traci, I'm going to let you just dive right in.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So that is exactly what I want to talk about today, which is overcoming the biggest block to manifesting your SP, which can be reacting to the 3D or reacting to circumstances. So I have 3 tips to help you overcome this block. And before I get started with the tips, I just want to put a disclaimer in here that this can be challenging. It can be, not easy. It takes a little bit of practice. So in other words, these tips might be easier said than done. So be easy with yourself. Take some time to put them into practice and just keep having faith and persisting that you got this. All right. So let's jump in. The first tip is to remember, no matter what shows up in your circumstances, that you created it. So no matter how big or, hard it may seem to overcome, remember that you created it with your thoughts. And so that's why we always say circumstances don't matter, because if you created that unwanted circumstance, you can create the opposite if that's what you intend to do. So try not to get doubtful. It's actually a really good sign that you created it. You can create the opposite. That's how powerful you really are.
Yeah, to speak to that, like one thing I always think about with that is if I created this before I was conscious of creating it, now that I'm doing it on purpose, like there's so much more. There's actually so much more power that's like at your advantage now. Right? So it's a moment of it's not going to be like what it was before. And every moment you're brand new and you're watching this, so you know you're God of your reality. You know your thoughts created it, even if it wasn't on purpose before. But now on purpose you can change it.
Right. Right. So probably if you kind of look back to that time when you were kind of thinking unconsciously, you can actually see, oh yeah, I did have this fear, this insecurity, and I can see how that created this situation that is, not my preference. And so now that I know that I did that for sure, I know I can create what I actually do prefer.
Yeah. And so let's go to number 2, because I think that really leads on to your number 2 tip about knowing the power and reclaiming your power back then. Maybe you didn't know back then, but now you know your thoughts have been creating. So it leads us to number 2.
Exactly. That is number 2. So remember that your thoughts create. You created this unwanted situation. So you let it help you build confidence in your power to create, right? I'd love to quote the Bible, and this is something that Neville speaks to all the time. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So your words, your thoughts create your reality. So keep that in mind. Understand that this is just an opportunity for you to build more faith and more trust in your mental diet. And so you just jump right back onto your mental diet, regardless of what the 3D is reflecting back to you.
Yeah, and I think it's really important too if you get in the habit of reclaiming your power and not spiraling, right? Because those spiraling thoughts do create, right? So it's like by acknowledging number 2, right, that your thoughts are creating, it's so important to not get down or to get scared of that. It's like, no, okay, this is to my advantage. I'm going to claim this power and get on your mental diet. And it feels so empowering when you start doing that. Like when you don't fall down anymore and go into the spirals, and we all go into spirals. I'm not trying to shame spirals, but it is a really, really cool habit to build of like, okay, I'm spiraling or I'm about to, I can feel it coming, right? But I know my thoughts create. I know that the God within me. So let me get used to that. Let me like go back on my mental diet. And like you said, it builds such a strong confidence. It builds such a strong faith. So
Right.
it's such a cool habit. And then like you start to feel like a little invincible and then like very invincible.
Yeah. And a little bit that spiraling can come when we do see an unwanted circumstance. We start to think, oh no, this showed up. I have to figure out now how to fix this. But you really don't. Manifesting is not about fixing things, it's about creating things, right? So you really don't have to spend any time ruminating or figuring out how to fix an unwanted circumstance. Your only job, the only thing that you have to do is focus on what you want. What do you want to create now? And that should be what your mental diet is all about, right? Your intentions, your affirmations. So you just go right back to your mental diet and you just stick to that and you just stay there.
That is like one of the most important, just I guess concepts of manifesting, that everything's perfect, everything's whole. You don't have to fix anything. You're perfect, you're whole. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to fix it. Like feel the relief of that. Like it's like, I love when I remember that one.
Yeah.
I love it. It brings so much joy. It's like you said, it's so, and you said it so beautifully. It's just like, it's about creating. It's not about fixing.
Yeah.
That's huge. So cool.
Yeah. Okay, tip number 3, which is my favorite, is to get excited. Get excited when you see an unwanted circumstance, which is, just as a reminder, the result of a past thought and belief and fear. And like Katie said, probably at a time when you were being unconscious with your thoughts, right? Get excited when you see these things show up, because on the other side of it, if you don't react, is your new intention, your new affirmation. Because all of our thoughts are getting pushed out, right? So these old thoughts, past thoughts and beliefs have to get pushed out before the new intention, the new affirmations get pushed out. So you can take it as a sign, as an indication that what you want is right on the other side of this if you don't react. So yeah, get really excited when unwanted things show up. Know that your thoughts are creating, they're getting pushed out. It is working. This is a sign that it's working, actually. So yeah, get really excited, because what you want, what you've been affirming, what you've been intending is right on the other side of this unwanted situation.
Yeah, and it's like, it's such a cool way to look at it, to get excited, to stay in that confident place of like, okay, like things are moving. Like it, like you said, it's on the other side. To stay in that state of just excitement and expectancy, right? Positive expectancy of like,
Yes.
obviously my thoughts are creating, obviously it's moving, right? And just allowing yourself to just stay in that state of, not only is everything you want like coming to you, right? Stay in that like God state, but it really is a lot of assumption too, right? Just assuming that clearly this is all happening because my desire is about to like manifest, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming the best of everything, and that makes it way more like fun, way more fun.
Yes. And yeah, see it as, have the concept about yourself as a creator that everything is always working out for me. This is also working out for me, because everything is empty and meaningless by default, right? So even if it's an unwanted situation, you can assign it the meaning, whatever meaning you want. And so assign it the meaning that this is working out for me.
Yeah, life becomes so much more fun when just everything's working out for you. Everything's working out for you. But Traci, like you said, like this isn't necessarily easy. In time, with practice, and you build up that confidence where you realize like I don't have to react anymore, and you get so much power back, it does become more natural. Like we feel for you if it's difficult at first, right? And that's why having a coach, having someone like Traci is so helpful, to just remind you, to keep you in your center, to keep you going forward, right? And to really get used to what it's like to not react. And you can do that with a coach, which is awesome. Right? But once you start to build that habit, it's unbelievable what you can manifest really instantly. Because like you said, it's the biggest block is that reacting.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah. And
like
sorry.
if you were to walk, you know, someone through how they would do this.
Yeah, I was just going to add one more thing about kind of saying this can be easier said than done. And I want to mention, because a lot of my clients say, I can do this with everything except the SP. And of course, because if we're intending for money or intending for a job and it's not showing up, it's a little bit easier to persist and have faith, right? Because we know, like, okay, it hasn't shown up yet, but I know that it's coming. I trust, I have faith. But with a person, because the job, the money isn't coming back and telling you, I don't like you, I don't want you, you know. But with a person, we can have these words coming back. And so, yeah, it takes a little bit of patience and integrating the fact that they don't have free will. They're not saying these things to you on their own free will. They are still, just like the money and the job, reflecting your own thoughts and beliefs. So, yeah. Again, I've been there, you know, we've all been there, and it takes some practice when you are dealing with another person, but same concept.
And I would just speak to that too, is like when you use the 3 tips Traci just gave, and you use it like in real time with a person, it is kind of unbelievable how fast the situation can change.
Yeah.
Like so quickly, right? It might be messy the first few times, right? Because they might talk back to you, but when you just don't react, you just see it for what it is. It's just a thought talking back to you. And you just change the thought, right? Things dissolve really, really quickly. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so how would we apply these tips? Let's talk a little bit about that. So let's say, for example, you've been in a relationship with your SP, or sorry, you've been sort of in this friends with benefits type of situation with your SP, and you've come to the point where you now intend, I want a loving, committed relationship. I intend to have a full relationship where my SP is committed to me and only me. So you start intending that, and then the SP comes back and says, oh, I'm sorry, but I've met someone. So that is your unwanted circumstance showing itself to you in your 3D, which is, again, just a result of your past thoughts and beliefs. So this is where we want to start to apply those tips. So remembering that you created this situation. They're not choosing to do anything to you on their own free will. And if you created this, him telling you that he wants to see someone else and not give you the commitment that you want, if you created that, you can definitely create the opposite of that. That's how powerful you are. And so when you recognize that, tip number 2 is trust that your thoughts create, and you just immediately go right back to your mental diet. You don't spend any time giving that situation energy or figuring out how to fix it or figuring out how to convince him that it's not the right decision, right? You just immediately go right back to your mental diet and trust that your thoughts create. Know that your thoughts create. And number 3, my favorite, get excited, because as Katie put it in her words, this is movement. This is your thoughts getting pushed out, and the old ones have to get pushed out first. So right on the other side of that, if you stick to your mental diet, if you don't react to this situation, if you remain true to knowing who you are, knowing you're the creator of your reality, if you stay true to that, then everything you want, what you've been intending, is just on the other side.
That is such a good way to put it. Just stay true to it. Yeah. Just stay true to like this process and how it works. And those were so like such a simple way to put what can be like such a confusing process. So like I think that's an amazing way just to make it so simple and just to practice and be easy with yourself as you're practicing.
Yes.
Yeah, those are
Yes.
awesome steps. I love that. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that with everyone. You all can now get past your biggest block, which is reacting, because it really is the biggest block. You're going to feel so empowered and so excited as long as you persist and stick with it. And then if you find yourself needing more guidance, more help, because as we mentioned, this isn't the easiest, right? Definitely come check out Traci. She is open for one-on-one sessions, and I know she can help you with this and anything else that you need with SP or manifesting, law of attraction. So make sure to check out the links below, like, comment, subscribe. And if you have lovely comments or questions, feel free to put them here. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. And thank you so much, Traci.
Thank you, Katie.
Bye, guys.
Bye.